and thought I'd share it with you guys. Dungeons & Dragons player kicked from party for learning the rules of the game. I'm also going to share 3 red flags that you might want to watch for in those Dungeon Masters you may be playing under. And before we do that, though, if you're brand new here to the channel, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you clicking on the play button. And if you want videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis, we'll go ahead and click that subscribe button, and that is exactly what will happen. So here we have somebody that posted on subreddit. It says a brand new Dungeons & Dragons player explains how their first group accused them of metagaming because they tried to learn the system's rules. A new Dungeons & Dragons player has shared the weird reason they were kicked from their first campaign, learning the rules. In a post made to the subreddit for the classic tabletop role-playing game, the original poster, the OP, explains how they spent their free time reading over the rulebooks and learning the core mechanics of Dungeons & Dragons because it is nothing like any of the games they played growing up. That's logical, right? If somebody wants to learn the game, they're reading the rules. Good for them. It says the other players and the Dungeon Master apparently interpreted the newbies' actions as metagaming and kicked them from the party. Well, okay, so there's red flag number 1. Number 1 is if your DM is combative, if they see people who bring knowledge to the game and see them as a threat, that's usually not a very good DM because they're going to do that throughout the game, and they're not player forward. They're not trying to help the players. They're trying to drive home whatever it is their goal is. And we have to remember that DMs are people. They're just people. They have their own ideas. They have their own things, and they also have their own issues. But you as a player, if you're playing for a Dungeon Master who is combative, who is not very open to the rest of the table, or they're trying to just drive home, their viewpoint of how a game should be played, well, then you might want to reconsider that you may not want to play under this DM and maybe look for a new group. So we scroll down here. It says members of the subreddit initially asked for clarification about exactly what books they were reading and if the campaign was homebrew or an official module like Curse of Strahd. The OP responded in an edit stating that the information they looked up only pertained to their D&D equipment, abilities, or essential rules, like what a short rest was, and that as far as they knew, it was a custom campaign. So it's so they're homebrewing. You're in a homebrew campaign, and they have their own thing going on here, and they have this new person. So there's things going on here. It says because of the additional information, many commenters have jumped to the OP's defense. One theorized that the group was just looking for any reason to kick the new player, while another stated that the newbie dodged a bullet. And I would agree with that, which leads me to the second red flag. The second red flag is a DM that's controlling. So you have your combative DM who sees everybody as a threat, and a controlling DM, especially if it's a homebrew type of thing. Some DMs don't like you coming in and messing up their perfect world with rules. They have their own rules. They have their own things going. And listen, this is the DM's fault. If the DM did not prep them correctly, that is the DM's fault, not the player's fault. And so the DM should be better at preparing people to play in a homebrew world. What rules apply? What rules don't apply? I, as a professional DM, and even before I was a professional DM, I am wide open to help at the table, whether I'm running something I created or I'm running some adventure. I've had several DMs at the table that I've run before, and I said, look, guys, if I don't know something, help me out here. Or if it's something that we just don't know, or we say, how would you rule on this? And so I am wide open because I want to keep the story moving. I want to keep things going. I don't want to get bogged down in the minutia of the rules. I'm trying to run a game here, run an adventure, so we can have a good time together. So I'm open to help. I recommend that if you are playing with a DM who is trying to control everything, who's just trying to, enforce their own rules and is not open to help and not open to any advice, you probably don't need a DM like that. That's a big red flag. Says the new Dungeons & Dragons players aren't the only ones with negative experiences with the TTRPG because of unreasonable expectations. A different player posted to the subreddit recounting a bizarre interaction where the Dungeon Master punished them for rolling a natural 20 on an ability check. Instead of succeeding, the player's character overthrew the item they were handling because there was a window of success. You can't roll too high nor too low. Now, I'd say the third red flag you need to watch for in a DM is that they just love their game too much. They just love it too much. They in their mind, they have a way that their game should go. And anything that, like, maybe they were throwing an item at a weapon at a creature, and it was going to kill their creature too soon. And they don't like it's a lot. Some DMs think it as winning and losing, that the players are beating them, and they try to make sure that I'm going to bend the rules, and I'm going to tweak things this way, or I'm going to even make things up, just so that you can't do what you want to do, because it's going to impact the way I view the game. And so I would encourage you to watch out for these red flags. Be sure to watch for DMs that are combative, that see other people at the table as a threat. Look for those controlling DMs, people that are just not open to help or your 2 cents. They don't want to be told how to, this rule or that rule. They've got it all under control. Or if it's a homebrew game that they've not prepped you for, right? They're just, look, this is my world, just leave it alone. And then the last thing is, watch out for those DMs who just love their game too much. They just feel like it's a competition, like it's the DM versus the players. It's not a competition. You're there to have fun. So watch out for the combative, the controlling, and the competitive DM, and you too will dodge a bullet. And I hope that you don't have any DMs like that. If you are looking for a good DM, though, with hopefully no red flags, I can always check out my page. I'll put it down in a link below. You can check out some of the games that I'm running, and you can say, hey, Paul, maybe me and my friends want to get together and have a great game, and we'd like a DM like yourself who's willing to work with us. I would be happy to work with you and run a great adventure for you. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being a part today. Be sure to go and click that thumbs up button that tells me you like the video and you want more of them. And until next time, guys, have a great one. Talk to you later.